I was not expecting that. I'm a title track listener, and like I was like, wow, really? They did a song like this?
Howdy Meowers, my name is Loremire and welcome back to the BlushCat podcast. You may already know why I'm here if you 1, read the title of the episode, or 2, are well versed in your BlushCat podcast episodes.
I'm well versed.
Well, why am I here, Devin?
Hi everybody. I hope you're having a chill day. You're here to talk about our mid-year favorites for 2024.
That is very true. And I'll get it out of the way right now. Once again, BlushCat does apologize for any background noise you might hear in this episode. So sorry about that. Please ignore it. Thank you. So, mid-year favorites, we did it last year, 2023. And we also did like an end of the year favorites. So you can go ahead and listen to both of those episodes. See what we enjoyed last year. But it's 2024 now. The year's halfway done already. Can you believe it? And we need to talk about what we've been enjoying so far.
Yeah, and even though we're only halfway through the year, it's still a monumental task to go through and try to narrow it down and pick things like, the overall like collective ranking type things that we do are so overwhelming. There's always so much stuff.
Yeah, it's true. And you know me by this point, I cannot ever decide favorites easily. This was no easy task. So it's nothing too serious. We're not like strictly like, our tier list that we did, our first tier list for our favorite music videos, we kind of really tried to think about our favorites. But this is like, we've got like about 1 to 5 favorites per category. So we've got some different categories today. There's about 15 or 16, I think, right?
Probably somewhere around there.
Yeah. So we picked like 1 to 5 favorites, and we're just gonna talk about why they're our favorites. They might change. We still have the whole second half of the year to get through, and it's just casual. Okay?
Yeah, casual, how we're feeling right now. Maybe we forgot some things, or maybe we're feeling some things now, and then by the end of the year we're going to be like, I'm kind of sick of that or whatever. Like very, like, not to be taken seriously. We always have to mention this. I know some of you are like, we know, yeah, we get it. But we still just got to make sure some people just need the reminder that it's not that serious.
Yes. And we will make it clear, if it wasn't already clear, we are capping this at like the end of June. So we're not including, like, it is, the middle of July at this point, so it's kind of past mid-year, but, we had to talk about the June K-pop comebacks in case any of those happen to make it into our favorites, and so you'd kind of know a little about what we thought of those already, and we had to split that episode into 2 parts, so, we had to push this episode,
yeah.
But it's, capped at the end of June, comeback-wise, and the order that we, say them in, if we have multiple per category, it doesn't hold any significance to me. Does it to you? I mean, for some of them, I might say this is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it might a little bit, but like it wasn't meant to be. Like I didn't specifically order my lists.
Okay. All right. So what category do you think we should start with today?
We could start with favorite music videos, because we've kind of talked a lot about music videos recently, so maybe that's kind of, we'll ease our way into like, hey, these are some music videos that we kind of already, maybe with some of these we even mentioned that we would have put them in our tier list if we had known about them when we made the tier list.
Sure. Let's start with that. And also, if you listened to our first mid-year review, we do have mostly the same categories, but there are a couple different ones, just so you know.
Yeah, we just like tailor it to the time, what categories seem fitting.
Yeah. So, do you want to say yours first?
Sure.
Okay.
The first of my favorite music videos for the first half of 2024 is something that was already included on the tier list, so it's no surprise to anyone. IU Love Wins All. Absolutely phenomenal, cinematic, emotional masterpiece music video.
Okay, fair.
Next, I have one that I definitely talked about being really good when we talked about it during its comeback time. That would be I've Ascendio. Really, once again, pretty brilliant. Loved it, very different. Loved the vibes. Yeah.
Yes.
And then also, this one might be a little bit surprising. I mean, I don't think it's surprising if you heard me talk about it, but I think it might be surprising in general. Like it's less known. TIOT Moonrise.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, some people might think it's kind of just a regular old video. It's not. It's a really special video that they made. There's something about that music video. It's just so nice. I just love it.
Okay.
And then I have one final one.
Okay.
This one is going to be surprising.
Really?
Yes. You're going to be like, wow, really? You put that one as a favorite music video for the first half of 2024? Yes, I did. I figured it deserved it. ONF by My Monster.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm not that surprised, actually.
I think it's just really like the aesthetics and the visuals and the feelings that they evoked, like the vibe that they created is really satisfying, really nice.
It is a good video. I do agree with that.
Okay, so what about you?
Well, my favorite music videos, I have listed 3, but without a doubt, I definitely have a favorite, and that's I've Ascendio.
Okay.
This is like when we talked about it, I was like, if we didn't just make our tier list, this would be at the top.
Exactly.
It's just really good. It was so well done. It was so fresh, so new, so interesting. Everything about it was like, this is perfect. So that's been my favorite music video this year so far. But the other 2, one of them was also on my tier list, but I probably like it. I don't know. I think I might like the other one more. But The Boy's Nectar.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've forgotten about it a little bit, but I still think it's a good video.
Not to be, rude here, but I've kind of forgotten about The Boys' comeback in general. Mm-hmm. Like I kept reminding myself, okay, yes, they did also have one, but like it did kind of get put on the back burner a little bit of my mind.
Yeah. But so this other one that I think I might like more than Nectar in terms of like, watchability, at least. And I'm surprised that you didn't put it, is &1 Broken Heart. I like that video.
My God.
I think it's...
I can fit 5. Oh, I forgot to say, general disclaimer, that my list was subject to change. I was feeling very like insecure that I forgot important things. So, if I was reminded at any point in time, in any capacity throughout the episode about something, then I could add it. And this is my first addendum. That is my 5th that I'm adding, because absolutely I'll put that.
Okay. Yeah. Like, it's just really good. I really enjoy the color palette. I mean, we talked about it when it was released. Like, I knew right away, I was like, oh, this is going to be different and it's going to be good. And it is. The green and black works really well. And then the other scenes are fun too. And I still enjoy it. So, one of my favorites. But I've Ascendio is still my most favorite.
I'm going to give a little spoiler here real quick. Although it's not really a spoiler if you've been listening, if you've had your ears open, not to this episode, I'm saying to the podcast in general. I probably just forgot to put Broken Heart as a favorite music video because I have it so many other times on my list.
Okay.
But I have to talk about this, okay?
Okay.
Because if you guys listen to the tier list video, the favorite music videos tier list, please, if you haven't and you're interested, go and give that a listen. It's a long one, but if you're interested in our favorite music videos, we really cover it all. One of my top music videos that I talked about in that video is DKZ, Donkeys at the time, Fever. And I talk about the man in it and how he is an icon. I think I talk about him maybe when we talked about DKZ as well in that episode. I don't know. But I was watching the Broken Heart music video and I was like, excuse me? What was that? In the part where they're spinning around and showing each person's face, it's so quick, it's so brief. There's a flash of a non-ampersand-one member. And it's the man, I mean, I'm pretty positive. It is the man from DKZ Fever. What are the chances?
Literally, what are the chances? This is like a recent discovery. We've seen this music video several times, but like, you just discovered this.
Yes.
I was shocked. I was like, no way. How did we never see it? But then you're like, well, it happens so fast. And I'm like, oh, it really does. He's in it for like a second.
Yeah. So I watched it again after that. And I tried to like really, check and focus. And it's like he's there in the like booth that he's manning for like multiple parts of the scene. But you see like, it's so in the background blurry, or like you see like his body, but not really his face. Like he's really kind of just like part of the background. And then, yeah, like you just see his face pretty much like during that spinning part, and that's it. But yeah, so unbelievably hard to catch, but he is there. And I was like, wow, first being in DKZ Fever, like put that on your resume. And then now ampersand-one Broken Heart. Are you kidding me?
Like, absolutely iconic things to be in.
Absolutely
Iconic groups to be featured in like the video for. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, amazing. Everybody support both those videos, support both those groups. That man clearly knows what to book for himself.
Absolutely.
And for anybody that doesn't know, I have a personal agenda of DKZ and ampersand-one. And obviously, this is just another piece that is added to the story. And I'm supporting it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so good reminder that I needed that one on my list. I'm surprised that you didn't max out your, you didn't do 5.
Yeah, music videos weren't really it this year.
Yeah.
I guess.
Totally.
But what category should we move on to? Because that was only our first category. Maybe we should move on to favorite dances?
Sure.
Okay. I'll begin because I can carry it right through. And this is another one that I think that I'll say like, yes, this one. I do have 5 listed, but this is my favorite choreography, and that's ampersand-one Broken Heart.
So good.
It's just, it is really good. I can't imagine that song with a different dance.
Yeah, and the dances stand out. Like the dance is impactful. Like it's
impactful. They do it well. It's catchy. Like the moves you want to follow along. It's really perfect.
I agree.
The other ones that I have, probably you'd be able to guess them. Not really having an order on these. I think they're all really good. CIX, Lovers or Enemies.
Ooh, I almost added that one.
That one has like a lot of unique points to it. Gravity, Love or Die.
Okay.
Very iconic. A new one, Even, I Love You. Their B-side. Very cute, very fun. And once again, a lot of like unique little points that they do. And the last one I've put is I've Heya. And
I knew you were going to put that one.
I kind of had to. I mean, like, it's another instance of like, I can't really, well, maybe I could picture like some moves being different here and there, but like when I hear the song, I picture the dance. And so I think that's like what makes it, it makes me want to include the dance in my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Broken Heart as well. I think, that's my favorite also. And I also have I Love You by Even. I just think that the dance is so, like, it enhances the song so much. And it is so different.
Yeah.
And then I only have one more. That's Blitzer's Superpower.
Okay.
I just really like the vibes that the dance brings to the song.
Okay, cool.
Okay, next, why don't we move on to favorite styling, because I'm just going to bring it right on through here. And also I'm going to say beforehand though, this is one of the categories that I had the most trouble with. I'm very, like, styling is very important to me in the world of K-pop, and I've been having a rough time recently. Like, I just haven't had any, like, you know, knock out of the park wins. If there was a stage I liked, it was just one stage. If maybe there was a person that I liked, or even less than that, sometimes maybe there was an article of clothing that I liked, but not even the whole outfit. So I'm very particular about how I want my styling to be, and nobody has like fully really been locking it in for me.
I am curious to hear what your favorites are for this.
I only have two,
Okay.
and they're really like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a cop out. I went with ampers&one Broken Heart.
Okay.
And Blitzer's Superpower.
Okay.
Both just sort of like more on the casual or sporty side, but still with some color, things like that. I don't know. There's definitely, you guys have heard me talk about specific instances maybe, or specific articles of clothing that I've liked, but overall, like when it comes to favorite styling, what we're talking about is like the comeback as a whole. So overall, the comeback as a whole, these ones had the most like consistency, I guess, to me, of like, I like this one, rather than like, I really like this one, but then I couldn't care less about the other ones.
Okay. Both of those like two, comebacks had like a customized sort of look, and I love a good, group customized outfit moment. Like Blitzers had like, the Blitzers logo or superpower on some of their outfits. Ampersand1 had like the matching hockey uniforms. I think that was fun. There were some questionable pieces for both groups though.
It's true.
At some stages, but not bad, but very different from what I've picked as my favorites.
That's not surprising.
So actually all of my favorites are girl groups or like, soloists. And so the first one is Sola Without You styling. Okay. And I loved her styling. I really did. It was so different for every stage. She was, even changing her hair and the length of it. And like her accessories were on point. The different colors were really nice. And like she looked very put together. I loved all the different styles that she had. Like she had some edgier ones or like some pretty ones. And they just all looked so good.
I definitely, like, I would say that, yeah, she looked very put together in any times that I saw her. I don't think I saw that many options, but I think, yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed the styling. This one, well, the next two, everybody could probably guess because I talk about them a lot for the groups in general. But
Oh, right, of course.
Now, I kind of, like, don't really know what one I like better. So it's a little bit of, like, a cop-out favorite because I didn't specify Heya or Ascendio.
I mean, they're part of the same album, so it's kind of the same, like, promotion time and everything. Isn't it kind of the same?
Yeah, like, they're just... obviously Ascendia was like, it had some more unique like accessories, which I thought was so cool, and I love when the groups make it more like costumey. But Heya had that like traditional beautiful element for a lot of the stages, but some of the like outfits that they had for the music shows were like the denim looks that I wasn't as into. But overall, I thought their styling was really nice. And like their hair and stuff, their makeup was different. And they were not having the same look each time. And it was also not like street clothes styling. It was like a stylized look. And then the last one, Red Velvet Cosmic.
I knew you
I already talked about that being good. So I like it.
if I've Ascendio had more stages that weren't the like good or like, you know, sort of Sailor Moon schoolgirl type of styling, I would have picked it. But I felt like they only did the one that was like the edgy version, and that bothers me. So
Okay.
And I saw when you talked about the sparkly skirts for Cosmic. When I saw that, wow, beautiful. But all the ones that I saw were always like the more like flower child styling.
Right.
So I didn't pick that one because of, you know, that as well. Like if it was the sequin styling that whole time, that was their comeback, I would have added that one definitely.
Okay. What category should we go with next? Something different? Something like maybe surprising releases. That's
Okay.
like kind of a random one that we include. But by surprising, we mean like maybe it surprised us because of how good it was. Maybe it surprised us because we wouldn't expect this group to do a song like that, or something like, you know, surprising in some capacity.
Okay.
So, should I just run through mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I've got the Boys Nectar, because honestly, after Lip Gloss and Watch It, I'm not expecting that style, but I loved it. Great comeback, throwing it back to Bloom Bloom sort of energy. Kepler Shooting Star, surprised that they were, you know, getting this, you know, put together of a concept, even though
Fair.
it was like, you know, the last, you know, all 9 member comeback, and I was like, well, deserve. I really liked it, really enjoyed it, so it was like a favorite surprising release. And AB6 grabbed me because like I felt like we were kind of returning to the Stay Young era a little bit. They were making a little bit of a brighter song, but it still had a lot of emotion, and I was like, okay, are we getting back to, you know, the golden era? Maybe. Not that I thought, like, you know, their stuff in the middle of those 2 releases was bad or something, but this is like the vibe and style that I enjoy from AB6, and yeah, just
That's totally fair. Understandable.
Okay.
Everybody had, well, maybe not everybody if they're not critically thinking, but everybody can have like their dips and their, you know, like ups and downs as to when a group releases something that's like perfectly what they like versus like I still loved it because it was good. But okay, my surprising releases, some of them are gonna keep sounding like I'm repeating the same things over and over again, guys. Okay, I don't have well, initially I was gonna say, you know, I'm proud of myself and or surprised that I have as much variety as I do in my list, but at the same time, there really are a lot of repeats. You have to bear with me, okay? I'm not like, I don't have a wide amount of favorites usually, but I feel like being able to have like 3, 4, 5 things for a lot of these categories it's really good for me.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to. Like, I assumed like 1 or 2.
Yeah, like I only have 2 for like, well, okay, there are a good bit that I have 2 for, but I have 3, 4, and 5 for a good bit as well. So surprising for me, we have TIOT Moonrise, because, you know, if you heard their pre-debut, you wouldn't have really expected this one.
Right.
It's very surprising. And like, it's surprising because it's like one of my favorite songs from the year, I think. You know, it's really good. Also, I Love You by Even.
Okay.
I was not expecting that. I'm a title track listener, and like I was like, wow, really? They did a song like this? And then lastly, Wooseok Navy Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect from his solo debut, but I don't think I was expecting that. And it's also one that I'm like, wow, I really love that song. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is a really good one. Those are all nice songs. I also enjoy those. But let's go to you pick.
Okay, let's move on to Catchiest title tracks. So this one is kind of weird because it's not like our favorite catchiest songs or something. It's kind of like songs that we still think are really good. It's like, oh yeah, I like that one. But it's kind of a little bit more like random for us. Like, maybe is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, in a sense. It's like, yeah, a little more random, a little less involved. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this group isn't somebody I'm like, regularly.
Like, we're not
know.
invested in
Right.
the group as much, maybe.
Yeah. But we still like really enjoyed these titles.
Yeah. It's like we could become a fan at some point. We're not trying to say this is like, oh, I don't like that group, but I like that one song. It's just more so like we're not.
And we could even listen to these groups regularly, like
Yeah.
all the time. It's just like we're not as in it with these people. So they're like really catchy and we appreciate them as a title track, but it's like our actual like that we have the favorite title track category as well that we'll get to. And those are kind of like, well, yeah, it's going to kind of be our favorites a little bit more like based on just like the title track itself because we're more invested in those groups.
Yeah, like I feel like your heart is in it more for the
Yeah.
favorites. Whereas these ones are just like you think the song is really great, like nice to listen to, but like your heart isn't necessarily like has that attachment.
Right. So hopefully you get the picture. So what do you have for your favorites in this?
Okay, you're gonna love this category. You're gonna be so happy to hear this. I've got Ugly by Even.
Okay.
I just like it's like, yeah, that's a nice song.
Yeah.
I also have Batter Love by Even.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's right. 2 Even songs.
And the
And then I've got one more. Love 119. Bet you didn't see that coming.
no, I did. Once you said I was gonna love the category, that was one of the ones that I thought you might have in it.
Okay, well, yeah. I was thinking, let me reconsider Rise, because when I initially thought favorites for this year, I was thinking about their more recent ones from this year, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to include any of that. No offense, guys. Listen to how much we love Get a Guitar, okay? In previous episodes. But yeah, then I was like, no, you know what? Love 119. Yeah, I can add that one.
Okay, true. Yeah. So that's one of mine. Rise,
Oh,
Love
okay.
119.
Nice.
SF9, Be Bora.
Oh,
I
yeah,
gotta shout
that's a
her
good
out.
one.
Like that, when it comes on, like when that song comes on shuffle, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Be Bora, right? It's throwing it back to Teardrop. I'm like, I am an SF9 enjoyer. I like their B-sides as well, but I don't really like watch their content or anything like that. So that's why it's in this category. I've also included To Us Plot Twist
I
because
can see that.
I mean, come on, who's not getting that stuck in their head? It's definitely catchy and I do like the energy of it. And Espa Supernova because I feel the same way about it.
Okay. Okay, where would you like to go next?
Let's take it to another similar sort of category. I feel like we're on a path right now. So let's kind of get these categories out of the way. Something different / refreshing. This category can have a couple different interpretations as well. Like we might think it's different for K-pop in general. We might think it's different for that artist. It could just be like, oh, this was a nice, refreshing listen. It's something different. I'm enjoying it. Lots of ways to interpret it. So do you want to share or do you want me to share?
Why don't you go first?
Okay. I'll say probably my favorite one out of, well, I don't know. It's such a hard category because these are all really good. I don't know. Woosok Navy Blue.
Mm-hmm.
I had to include it somewhere. I kind of feel like it's not exactly K-pop because the style, when we talked about it, it's like more indie, more rock, but it's good. Like he does such a good job. I love the vibes. It is very refreshing. The music video is refreshing as well. Something I really enjoy whenever it comes on. I've got Aimers, Somebody. This is a new group for me. I just thought it was a really on-point release. I like the energy. I like that refreshing feeling that it has. I've put Rise Love 119 in this category as well because I also think something different about it is their styling. Like when they wore the coats on stage, like I've never seen that. I'm like, how did they even dance in those winter jackets? And the last one is ONF by My Monster.
Okay. I mean, I feel that.
Okay.
I didn't put it on mine in that category, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like they were bringing something different in their music show stages and like that orchestra sound that they have. It's not really different for ONF, but for K-pop it's something different.
Yeah. I also had, of course, Usak Navy Blue on my list. And I feel like that's, I thought that too, is that it's like it's not as K-pop as you might think K-pop to be. But I mean, if like Day 6 can be K-pop,
yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of the times soloists have something that's closer to like regular music, not K-pop,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I remember saying that when I first saw it, that it was very refreshing. And I think this one was released like in the same month. I think we talked about them in the same episode. And I also thought that about this song. So I figured I'm going to follow through. Gravity Love or Die.
Okay. Oh, man, were those really released in the same month?
I don't know, maybe.
seems so wild, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't even know why I think it's different and refreshing. I just remember when I saw it, something about the sound or the vibe just seemed kind of refreshing to me, which might seem weird, but it did. And then lastly, I have Even I Love You.
Okay, all right. I'm glad that that song is included in your favorites so many times.
Well, upon first listen, it's like, wow, that's surely a darling song. And then every time after that, it's kind of like, yeah, this song, man.
Yeah. So, man, how many categories do we have left? We're saving the big ones, as they do at, this is not an award show format, but
yeah, these are not awards.
Yeah. But maybe we should go to, I don't know, you pick.
Okay, let's do one of the really random ones. Favorite Japanese releases.
Okay, sure.
So this category was not too easy for me. I feel like in previous years or half years, I guess, if we want to think of it that way, there's been some clearer top runners for me. But I did scrounge together a few here. First and foremost, I think this one would probably end up being my actual favorite out of the Japanese releases. As far as the ones I can think of and remember. Billy, Domino Butterfly Effect.
Okay, Billy for the win.
It's really just, it's very catchy. It's very fun. And I think what they did with it was unique as well. So I like that one. I've also got here, even though I've only listened to it twice, Itzy Algorithm.
Oh, okay.
I thought, yeah, it's fun. We like that one. I think I like some of the Itzy's other Japanese releases better, but still, it's fine.
I was like, hey, did you listen to Algorithm yet?
Yeah.
Hey, did you listen to Algorithm yet?
Literally, like, I just re-listened to it the other day to, like, see. And I was like, didn't I just watch this? I'm like, I think that's literally how long it took me to see it. Like, I've only seen it very recently.
Okay.
The last one, Kong Daniel Rebel.
That is a good one. It really
good.
is.
I like the rock vibes of it.
Me too. I love songs like that. Fortunately, that one's not on my list. I'm so sorry.
What have you got?
I do love it though. Like,
sure.
No, I do. Like those vibes, like the anime rock, man, those are good.
Yeah.
And they always do like Japanese releases like that.
Yeah.
Well, not like, it's common.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think my favorite out of my favorites is NCT Dream Moonlight.
Oh, of course.
We all saw that coming, right?
Yes.
I mean, like,
we did. We all saw it.
Okay, I've also got Zero Base One Yura Yura.
Okay.
Because, oh man, so catchy. We love the spring cherry blossom vibes.
Do you know my problem with that song?
No.
It's that the chorus goes, Yura, baby, baby.
Oh,
And I just,
yeah, you do always say.
I only am
always say
hearing
that.
one thing, you're a baby. But yeah, otherwise, like if it didn't sound like that in my mind, like I would probably like that one as well.
Okay.
But it just sounds like someone's calling me a baby.
Okay. I also like am remembering now I didn't even consider this aspect of it when I included it in my favorites, but I really enjoyed watching like, you know, fan cams or performances of this song too, because they all just seemed like they were having such a good time. This one isn't a title track, it's actually a B-side, and that's Gravity Blue and White.
Oh, right. Yeah, you like that one a lot.
Oh, man, it's good. And I had to obviously include Billy Domino Butterfly Effect because it's great.
You know, Billy is becoming another group for me.
Yes. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Like, I heard Anoia recently, and then I went and re-listened to it like the other day, and I was like, yeah, I think this one is a lot better than I first, because we talked about it for a comeback episode, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, it was nice, but like, no, it's really, like, I really like it.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for my Japanese releases. Let's maybe move on to one of the... Oh, no, let's do live stages. We didn't do that yet, right?
Okay, we didn't do that.
Okay. Favorite live stages. Now, by this, I'm like, we mean music show stages, not like, you know, to be performed live anywhere ever, or like at like a festival or concert or something like that. We mean like a music show comeback type performance. So, should I go first?
Sure.
Okay. Blitzer Superpower.
Okay.
It had to be Blitzers. You know, they've always got amazing live stages. They're bringing everything to these, you know, performances. They had multiple. I kind of like made it a personal rule for this category that if they didn't have like regular promotions, like if they didn't have multiple stages, they were not included in the run.
Oh God. So did you pick an actual stage, or are you just doing a collective?
No. Yeah. Oh, did you pick actual specific ones?
Well, I tried to, and it was really difficult.
Oh man. Okay, I thought this was a general category. Yeah, no.
I like it better as a general category.
Okay, I'm talking like any superpower. Like I just generally enjoyed watching their stages of that.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I gotta like, I mean, I can still say the specific ones, I guess, but I maybe just won't, and also I can then add a group maybe.
Okay. So the other ones I've got are Solo Without You.
Oh, of course, she had those like really different ones, right?
Yeah, she had the like different stages, and she didn't have any choreography, so it's a bit of an interesting one. But like the atmosphere that she created was so nice. There were moments when she would walk in the audience, or like she walked from like a little set, and then like she would walk up to the stage. She had a live band with her, and there were a lot of different, you know, things that were happening that were unique and made these stages enjoyable. And also, like I said earlier, her styling was one of my favorites, so it made it nice to watch in that way as well. I've also included Red Velvet Cosmic for, you know, the styling reason, but also like they had good set design, and there's also like, I feel like this is my favorite way, other than just listening to the song, like the stages are my favorite way to consume Cosmic. Like rather than the music video, I'll go to a stage, and they don't have a dance practice. They have a performance video, but I don't really like the like design of that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather watch a stage. And the other two that I've got are Gravity Love or Die, because while the styling for some of them was not good, they did have some strong styling moments. And so those ones, like, you know, I'm looking at you, Music Bank, those ones were really good, and they also had good camera work most of the time. And so also, like, you know, the live vocals they were delivering, it was great, really enjoyable. I also had to include Even Better Love, because I
You love
watched,
that song.
I love the song. I watched all of their stage performances. Their styling did take a pleasant turn at like the last week or so, and when they had like, it's like the same outfit but they did a different color of it every day. And you know, they looked like they were having a good time. I love like stage interaction, and you know, when the members don't just look like they go out and perform and then want to go home. It looks like you know, they're putting on a performance, they're interacting with each other, they're like doing stuff for the camera, but it's not like too over the top. It was just enjoyable. So yeah.
For me personally, I was going about this whole thing a little bit differently. So I'm going to explain it, but also I'm just going to kind of roll it into the way that you were doing it. Okay? I'll do both. Because for starters, I was thinking that I needed to find and or think of and remember like standout performances. Like I think last year, one of the performances that I really liked and would talk about on a live stage was Just Be Medusa from Show Champion. I was thinking I needed things like that, and I was like, I don't know of any. Like, I don't know. And also, I wanted to find ones that I really like the styling of, because that's one of my favorite parts about live stages is to see the styling. And I was just struggling, okay? Because I was like, oh, well, I like the styling of this one, but it didn't sound like they really did live vocals. Or, okay, the styling's good here, the vocals are good, but the camera work, not the best. And I was, you know, so it was tough.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, this is the last one that I added. It was last minute, but I'll just talk about it first because it goes against everything that you said. It's the only stage performance that this person did. But I thought it was so nice, so pleasant to watch and enjoyable that I wanted to include it. So we have Wooseok Navy Blue on Show Champion. He did perform it one time, and I just think it's like, he just seems like he's happy, you know?
Yeah.
It just is nice.
I agree. That was a really nice experience. And like, man, like, makes you think of Pentagon, and you know, they're such great performers. And like, I love that he was like, he had an instrument so different. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. So I've got that. But then also I too included quote unquote blitzers, but at the same time I was kind of like, I had written down a stage, like a specific stage, only to realize that stage was from July. And I was like, okay, well, so then I can't really use that one. But so I can talk about Blitzer superpower in general, because that's what you were doing. So yes, definitely. I'd also say Gravity Love or Die. Definitely. And I could point out specifically, there was an M Countdown stage, episode 833. The outfits, they're a little much. The leather pants, they're a little shiny. But I thought, like, I liked it. It seemed fast. Like, I liked the feeling of this stage.
Yeah, okay. I definitely know that vibe with Love or Die.
Okay. So, okay, I also had CIX, Lovers or Enemies.
A good one.
And this one, I did point out a specific one as well, Show Champion episode 504. I'm going to be real with you guys, okay? I was not really here for the styling for Lovers or Enemies. It's like concept-wise I liked it, but execution-wise, I didn't really like it very much, which I know is probably a hot take. But I liked this stage specifically because there's a laughing moment.
Oh, a laughing moment.
We love laughing moments.
Are the outfits white?
No, I think they're like black jackets with denim or something, like denim pants.
Okay.
Jeans, some might call them.
Jeans, yeah, okay.
Denim pants.
Man, I love laughing moments. I love stuff like that. Oh, it's a good time. Yeah, that was almost, like, I almost squeezed it in, but yeah, the styling, some of it was a little just dull color palette wise for me, but I liked the pieces. I think it's actually maybe common to not really like the styling for that comeback, but okay. I kind of yeah, like I just said, like I liked the pieces.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
So, and like another thing about that one was like what you said about one of yours is it was my favorite way to consume that song is a stage performance. So I'm going to add one final one, because I've got another slot open, and I didn't have this one included because I didn't know which stage to pick. But now that it's anything, overall, we're going to add in Broken Heart, ampers&one.
Okay.
Of course.
That's
Because I loved watching the stages of that.
Me too. I agree. I almost put that one in there as well. Yeah. It was a good time. Some of them, though, the styling was a little like, was it Sungmo who had the pants that I was
Yeah.
so it was like, it threw me off a little bit. If there was a category that we made, we could have included one and it would have been like a wild card type of category, but like favorite fan sign performances, I would have included like some ampers&one. I would have put CIX. Like there were a lot of like comebacks this first half of the year that I liked seeing, like a group focus of their fan sign performances. Yeah. So I want to move on to favorite albums.
Oh, okay.
This is like, a big category. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Do you have 5 for this?
I do.
I thought you would.
I really struggled to narrow it down to 5. Man, there were a lot of good albums, in my opinion.
I at first was thinking like I didn't know what in the world I was going to put for this category. But I was like, I do remember listening to a lot of albums for all of our comeback episodes and usually thinking like most of the songs were at least fine. I was like, yeah, all solid songs. So I've got a couple here,
Okay.
I do have things.
Why don't you go first?
Oh, okay. The first one that I have for this category is like I want to say all-rounder, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is like I actually like all the songs. Okay. It is a bit smaller of an album, but like it's like I legitimately I'm not just like, oh yeah, that's a good song. Like I actually like all of them. I'm proud of myself for like having an album that it's like I can say the whole one I like. That would be ampers&one, One Hearted. It's only got 3 songs, but they're all really good. And then we also have Gravity Evershine. Because that one, even though I don't like actively listen to the other songs, they're all really good. Like they're all quality songs.
I'm surprised that that's on your list, honestly.
I didn't think about it until I went and re-listened to it to check. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this one is good. And then lastly, we have I've Switch.
Okay.
Because I was like, I remember, I know I at least have heard the 2 title tracks. And I've heard all of them, but like, obviously there's 2 title tracks. And then Blue Heart I knew I really liked. So I was like, let me go check out that one. And once again, all the songs are quality, even though I don't have them all, in my playlists or anything. I think like overall, they did a good job with it. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Nice to hear you enjoying the albums. My albums that are my favorites. Oh man, I already said it was so hard to pick, so stay tuned for the honorable mentions category to hear more. But you might be surprised by some of these. I have got Waker, Mission of School.
Well, I didn't even know that was an album.
Yes, this was their debut, okay? And we actually did talk about it because I had to. Because I was like, listen, everyone, hear me out.
You got to get those receipts as an early fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Waker just debuted, and you guys need to tune in because Atlantis, that was good. But their other songs on the album are good, too. And that was released in January. And I'm still listening to it. It's really nice to listen to the whole thing. I haven't gotten tired of any of the songs. I think it's very cohesive. They're offering like different styles, like that rocky anime sort of sound, a ballad, an intro, a skit. Like they've got it all. We talked about that, like, when it was released. And they just had a comeback today, actually, their first comeback. So, I tuned in for that. And, like, I just am glad to see. Apparently, I thought it was a full album. But apparently, they classify it as a mini album, which is shocking as well. Because it has so many songs. And these days, K-pop songs are getting shorter. And the albums are getting smaller. And so it was really nice to see this format. And I hope that it, continues like that. I know this comeback that they have had is a mini album as well, but I think it has like 10 tracks, which is unheard of these days for it to be labeled a mini album and have 10 songs on it.
Wow, yeah. Big vouch for Waker. That's crazy.
I really don't know anything like about the people, so it's kind of a random one because like their content, like they don't have a lot of it. They only promoted Atlantis on a music show one time, and they're kind of like a mystery still.
I get that.
Yeah.
They're like Atlantis.
Yeah, sure. The other albums that I have decided to say are my favorites as of now, Even Ride or Die.
I knew it.
We all knew that. Like, oh man, so good. Every song, so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm like, man, if they didn't release this one, like the one that Ugly is on, I don't remember the name of the album. But that one was good too. Like KO, we gotta shout her out, okay? But that's not included because Ride or Die kind of like came and like, swept me in, like swept me away. Like I got caught up in it. DKZ Reboot, had to include that. Great album. I love the songs on it.
It is quality.
Yeah, it's quality and it's DKZ, so bonus points. Gravity Evershine, agree with what you said. All the songs are great. Still listen to it. It's nice to like listen to it all like as an album as well. And I've also included Kep1er, Kept One Going On. It's a full album and I was just really impressed with it. I thought it was nice. They were offering different sounds. It was different from what I was used to for Kep1er. And yeah, it made it to my favorites.
Okay.
Well, let's move on to the top title tracks category. These are our favorite title tracks, and you go ahead.
Okay. I've already mentioned all of them.
Okay.
I have my top favorite, ampers&one, Broken Heart.
Mm-hmm.
I also have CIX, Lovers or Enemies.
Wow.
Well, are you kidding me? I love that song.
I mean, I know you do, but I'm still surprised.
I also have I've Ascendio. And then lastly, I have Gravity, Love or Die.
Okay, all right. All those groups, all those songs for the win.
Absolutely.
My list is extremely similar to yours.
Oh, nice.
I have &1 Broken Heart. I have Gravity, Love or Die. I have I've Ascendio. I also have Red Velvet Cosmic and Even Better Love.
Okay.
Anybody surprised? No.
No one's surprised. It's CIX, Lovers or Enemies didn't make it on the list because there wasn't enough room, right? Surely you didn't not like that song.
Oh, well, of course. I love the song. It's just, I know. I had to, I was supposed to decide. I had to cap it at 5.
She did good, guys. She narrowed it down to 5. That's what we asked.
Okay, let's move to B-sides because
favorite
title
B-sides.
tracks, B-sides. We're not only going with B-sides that were promoted, but they could have been promoted as well. But any B-sides, my favorites, &1 Crazy Stupid Fun.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't know the public opinion on this song, but I love it. I think it's fun. It's fun. I want to see them perform to it. I want to see them at a concert jumping around, doing like choreography here and there, but it's like mostly just having fun. Like, man, the vibes are so up on this song, and I love songs that sound like that. Rocky Read You. This song, very new.
Is that the ballad?
It's like ballady.
Okay.
This is one that reminded me of Taemin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so good. I can't express enough how good it is. It's really everything. I've included maybe a surprising one. It's also very new. To Us Fire Confetti. I can't get enough of this song. I listen to it several times a day. The vibes on this song, man, are just something else. I would honestly like I would consider doing a track by track on the To Us album just so that I could sit and talk about this song for like 10 minutes straight. It's really good.
I think I still haven't listened to it.
I've also it's good. I like it. I've also included Even I Love You because we all know at this point this one's like so fun. Love it. And I've included now I had this one this category, like I really had to make some decisions to get it down to 5. So, I kind of I'm kind of lying because I was going to say that like if I included the album, like I didn't consider like the B-sides as much because I'm like, well, I already talked about the album. But Even I Love You had promotions, and this one, Kepler Problem, had promotions. So I'm like, it kind of gave me more of an opportunity to experience the song.
Right, okay.
So, I really enjoyed Kepler Problem. And I think that, when you get to it, when you're listening to the album, it's a good time. And I would miss it if it wasn't on the album.
Okay. I have a couple of repeats. I'll say those ones first. Crazy Stupid Fun and I Love You by Even. Obviously, are both good. We've talked about them before. Absolutely need to add Crazy Stupid Fun. I already talked about I Love You in this episode, but Crazy Stupid Fun is, yes, like everything you said. So obviously have to include it. Another one that I've got here, maybe a little bit surprising, Blue Heart by IVE. I also have Sweat by ZB1, which really, like, at first, I don't think I would have known to consider it like a favorite B-side, but over time, it's really catchy, Yeah. I gotta include it. And then lastly, my top favorite B-side, we all know, say it with me now, TIOT Moonrise. So, yes, I've talked about it how many times now. I don't need to go through it again, but I love that song. Good job, TIOT. You're doing it. I thought since their pre-debut, like, wow, look at this group. So, yeah.
I hope that they know how much you specifically appreciate Moonrise. Like, I feel like they would appreciate people appreciating that song.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, okay, time for another category.
I think, why don't I just segue right into favorite debuts? Because I'll just say TIOT.
Okay.
Like, I knew about them last year, but they hadn't debuted.
Right.
So, I had that. I had Jongwon Wonwoo, and I had Usopp. I know, it's kind of like throwaway for all of them. None of them are like new to me, but they are technically all debuts, and I didn't really know what else to pick because I don't really stan groups at their debut,
Yeah.
Like it takes me time. So it kind of makes sense that I would have picked ones that are like people I already saw or knew about beforehand.
Okay. I kind of, eliminated those ones.
Fair.
So I said To Us.
Okay.
Because I like, we talked about it just recently for the June comebacks, and I mentioned, like, I like how it feels very K-pop and, like, classic. They're not, like, I like their brand so far. And they've got, catchy songs, fun songs. I like the energy, and I thought that they had a strong debut.
That's a good, like, those are good reasons.
Yeah.
No one can argue with that.
Okay. So let's move on to favorite content.
Okay.
This category, I went, generally group wise.
Yes, and I once again didn't think of it that way at first, but now that it is that way, I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, that's easier.
Okay. So, do you want me to go?
Oh, yeah. You go first.
Okay. So, I've got the big 4 here. And everybody, if you've been listening, like Meowers, you could probably guess the 4. Not really in an order. Kind of in an order. Okay, ampers&one. Like, they had Boy Mansion. Really, truly kicked things off.
Absolutely.
The episodes, the sandwatches, like their general behind content. I've been loving it all. It's really good. I'm not going to lie to anybody. Ampersand 1 is like top tier.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Like if like, you know, alt status. Like I don't care. Blitzers, you had to see that coming. Their
Absolutely.
content is always really original, unique, funny. They're always doing like their content is very like well made, you know.
Definitely.
So they had how far will you go is I think maybe how they translate the title of that. Very original content. They had Be Great Sentiment, really funny. DKZ with their DKZ original content. I had to include it. I haven't seen much from DKZ this year, but they did luckily put out that content. It was edited a bit like quickly, like it was very fast paced, but it was hilarious. The members are always really funny. And we love DKZ. You know that by now. And obviously you could see this one coming as well. Even. They released 24 Even. I talked about that a little bit. They had 802 Even. So they've got some original programs. I've been enjoying those. Their content in general is good. I like it.
I've got almost the same exact list as you.
Okay.
I think it helps, and people aren't going to want to hear this, but I think that it helps when a group has no bad people in it. Which I know you'd think, well, if you're going to stay in a group, you better not think it has bad people in it. But no, there are some groups that I'm like, I really like the group, but there is one member. Usually it's one member. I'm not going to say who, you know, I'm not trying to be like a hateful person. But sometimes there is one member that I'm like, I don't really like that person. But these groups, they've got no bad members, okay? And so having no bad members, being really good at making content, and having good editing and like ideas for content.
Yes.
All those things together, I think all these groups have. DKZ, like you're saying, my God, I don't know if I've ever seen content from them that wasn't good. Yeah. Everything they do is so good. And I love DKZ original content. Fantastic. Every crumb I can get from DKZ, please. Blitzers, absolutely. Their stuff is so like, they have the type of thing that can be so crazy, but like done in such a perfect way.
Yeah.
Like it's just those. I tried to look up what they were called. I didn't know what they were called. The ones with the meditation and the stretching exercises.
Oh, I wanted to say those are just Be Great Sentiment, but I'm not sure.
Well, whatever those things were, it's some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. The stretching one, I died. It was hilarious.
That stretching one is something else.
It's so good. And their shorts too are so good. Oh my God. And then also ampersand 1. Yes. I honestly, like, if I was thinking that I had to pick a type of content, I was like, okay, well, obviously, I guess I'd pick one of the longer ones like Ampisode or something, but I don't want to leave out Sandwatch because it's so nice. Like, it's such a nice type of content. So, yeah, overall, everything that they do, too, is just, it's nice.
Yeah, I agree. Really good stuff. Really, really good content.
I'm so happy to see that there are some groups lately that I personally really like the music of as well, that like are making content that I'm really here for.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I like a group's music and then I'm like, where's the content? There's nothing to watch with that group. Or if there is, it's like not that good. It's kind of generic.
Yeah. Like, no, that's a good point. Like, I'm so glad that these groups make content that's enjoyable and good and like regular.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Thank you. Keep it up, guys.
Please keep it up. We're watching.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're finally almost at the end of it. What categories do we have left?
We're down to our final 3. We have top overall. We have still listening in 2024. And we have honorable mentions. What are we going to first?
Let's go with top overall.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it makes sense to do those other ones after because they're kind of like follow up. Okay. So it's time for our big category, the one that everyone has been waiting for. Drum roll. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. I'm interested in hearing what these are. Are they going to be extremely predictable or no?
Yeah, probably. Ampersand one hearted. Like some of them I went with, like album, or like some of them I just said the title track, just whatever I was feeling, I wrote it down. So we all know one hearted, like we can't forget about like their third track, and the whole package, everything that they had to offer this year so far was great. I'm looking forward to their August summer fun comeback that they're having. I'm manifesting it. It's not announced or anything like that, but like I'm manifesting it. It will happen. So
that would be iconic.
Just stay tuned for that. It's gonna be so fun. And also episode will return.
Oh, absolutely. They said it would.
They said it would in the summer.
It would.
So obviously it's like they're gonna be promoting, and they'll have an episode. Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Even Ride or Die.
Of course.
My third overall favorite is I've Switch. I thought the whole era was great. I thought both of their title tracks were great. I wish that, I'm pretty sure they didn't win. Like, is that correct? Like, they didn't.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I don't know why. Is this the first time they've
rigged?
Like, they haven't won for a comeback. I don't know why. They were delivering everything.
That's crazy. Yeah, because it's actually not even generic or anything in any way. Like,
yeah. From the minute I saw the concept photos, I'm like, this is it. Like, this is the whole package. They like, come on. Yeah.
People must have been sleeping.
Like, I think like overall, like that's truly like they're truly capturing that overall greatness. And then I've got Red Velvet with Cosmic, and I've got Gravity Evershine.
Okay, so you went like albums pretty much across the board.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got title tracks, okay? That's just what's more pertinent to me.
Okay.
We're going to start with obviously what everyone knows. I mean, you know all of them. But &1 Broken Heart, CIX Lovers Are Enemies, I've Ascendio, TIOT Moonrise, yes, it's in the top overall, and Gravity Love or Die.
Okay, solid.
All icon status there across the board. I don't think I have anything more to say.
Okay, let's go to...
If anyone clicked to just hear our top overall and they hear me giving the most like generic like default answer, like I don't explain anything, but it's because I talked about them 500 times already. You have to listen to the whole episode.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to our category Still Listening in 2024. It's a category obviously we've created this year. And what do we mean by that?
There were just too many songs that were iconic and relevant to us this year that were from last year. We needed a chance to talk about some moments that were just like, how can we talk about the beginning half of this year without mentioning these songs? But they're not songs from 2024.
Yes. I have a feeling ours are pretty much the same.
Probably.
So,
well, not one of them.
Yeah, I know you won't have one of mine. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I have, and I know you guys have probably, if you've been listening throughout the first half of the year, you've heard us mention them often, probably.
Oh yeah.
I have Sheesh by &1. What a top track. My God. I know I had heard it last year, it's not like it was new to me from this year, but it's just really, it's become so iconic. It needs to never be forgotten or overlooked.
Oh, agreed.
I also have Blitzer's Macarena, obviously. Basically what I just said for Sheesh, you could say for Macarena. Really just, how do we not talk about Macarena? Always. I have Rise, Get a Guitar. So listenable. Like, it just keeps on coming back. At first, I was really just thinking it was a meme, kind of. I was like, oh, Rise, Get a Guitar, really? And now I'm like, no, Rise, Get a Guitar was played in this universe and I wasn't listening? Like, it's got that vibe to it. And then my last one that I have is actually Kong Daniel SOS, which I feel like it came out. I liked it. I listened to it. I thought, wow, that music video is so cinematic and awesome. But then I kind of like forgot about it in terms of like listening to it. And now for some reason it came, like, I had a resurgence and I'm like, oh my God, like, gotta tune into that one.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all I have.
Well, just as I suspected, 3 of mine are ones that you have said. Ampersand1 Sheesh, Rise Get a Guitar, and Blitzer's Macarena. You obviously already know about Blitzer's Macarena. You've probably heard about Get a Guitar recently when we talked about the Anton Ibduk moment. And Sheesh, I remember when I first saw that Sheesh dance practice and my mind was blown. And since then, I've never stopped listening to Sheesh and watching the dance practice. It's absolutely iconic. It's legendary. Yeah, I agree. I hope they never stop, giving that song attention.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it seems to be loved, at least in the fandom. I don't really pay attention to fandom goings on, but I do see, some stuff sometimes if I'm trying to find, a fan sign video, something like that. And I come across some stuff, and I came across a lot of Sheesh enjoyers. So
That's
good job, Andir. And, the last one that I included is CX Color, because I cannot get enough of that song. It's a B-side. I think it's incredible, and I'm still listening all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to our last category of the day, honorable mentions.
Okay, I'll just go right through mine because I could not end this episode without mentioning them somewhere. So, NCT Dream Unknown. The B-side, they did promote it, had to mention it. SF9 Midnight Sun is a B-side that they had on their album. I love it. It's great. And I wanted to shout out the Artemis album, and I just actually literally recently learned that that is how you pronounce that group, made up of, Luna members. But I thought it was a great, well put together album. But, at the moment, it was sitting there with 3 other albums in the album category, and it I moved it to honorable mentions at the end. I also did the same thing with aespa's Armageddon album. I was actually really surprised that I really enjoyed all of the tracks because, I heard Supernova, and then when I heard Armageddon as the actual title, I was kind of I think Supernova is way better. But then the more I heard Armageddon without watching the video, I was kind of this song's not bad. And then the album, I was Bahama, great fun summery B-side, and Live My Life. I love that. I love that style. It's very concert sounding, and then they put a video out for it, and I love the end of that music video. It's so nice when they have the light effect. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really great.
I don't think I've seen it.
And the last I guess I don't know. I'll end my honorable mentions there. I was gonna say something else, but I'd feel the need to mention another one, and that would be Exceeding 5. So I'll have to stop it there.
Okay.
But let me just sneakily shout out DKZ and Gravity again.
Okay. I have 2 legitimate honorable mentions and 3 cop-outs. I'm gonna mention them anyway, even though they do not qualify. Okay. I would say, but I have to mention them. Okay, but they don't qualify even for an honorable mention. But so my actual ones would be, yes, DKZ, Like a Movie. I feel like I didn't really get to include it in any category. Guess what, guys? They promoted it one time on a music stage, okay? What was I supposed to talk about, There's just...
Yeah.
So that was, I have to mention it because I still did really like it. And I always have to mention DKZ, obviously. So we've got that one. And then this other one is going to be very surprising to you, I think. Very surprising. I'm going to mention 10 Nightwalker.
Ooh. Okay.
When I was kind of thinking about all the things that have happened throughout the year so far, and I was like, that one, it's got something to it,
Mm-hmm.
It's just, he did a really good job with it. I just wanted to mention it again.
Okay, I agree. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and my 3 cop-out honorable mentions are just 3 songs that were very relevant to me for this first half of the year, but they are not from this year, and they're not from last year.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm mentioning them anyway. They don't have to go in the honorable mentions category. They're going after. We're done now. We're done with the whole favorites thing, and I'm just talking about them.
Okay.
I just have to shout out CIX Cinema, Blitzer's Breathe Again, and Nine Young Boy. I just happened to say those words. They're not part of anything. I have nothing to say. I just mentioned them.
CX Cinema is so good.
It is.
It's truly like, okay, and not to discredit the other songs. Obviously, Young Boy is like, wow, like that's like so good. And Breathe Again, yeah, like for a debut, like it's great. For a song in general, it's great. For a dance, it's great. But like CX Cinema, yeah, it was a moment. It is a moment. It will be a moment.
Yeah, I mean, and it has sheesh undertones if you listen to the
that it does
sounds.
Okay, so that finally concludes our 2024 mid-year K-pop review, our favorites. You heard them all just now, and let us know what you think. You can leave us a comment, tell us, you know, if you agree with any of our favorites, if you share the same ones. You can tell us your own favorites. If you like, you're like, how did you not mention this? Well, sorry that it's not our favorite, but you can let us know if it's yours. And if you liked hearing what we had to say, like the video on YouTube. Remember that you can listen to the BlushCat podcast on Spotify as well, or wherever you listen to podcasts. But if you're listening on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the BlushCat channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss more of our great content. Remember to check out our other non-podcast K-pop content that is exclusive to YouTube. And throwing it back to Spotify, remember to check out and save all of our K-pop playlists. We have many different styles, vibes, seasonal playlists for you, so go check all of those out.
Yes, and I'd just like to apologize if today's episode took a little longer than you would have expected, but I had more things in each category than I did the last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fine. I think that's a great thing.
Okay.
And I would like to apologize once again for any background noise because, like, even, like, us, like, it's annoying to us. So, if, like, you know, I can only imagine listening back and not even being aware of what's going on. That's probably annoying. So if you bared with us this whole time hearing the extra background noise, thank you. And also if, you know, if we started, you know, losing steam or getting too much steam at any point in the episode, try to understand that it is due to the BlushCat headquarters environment that we talked about before.
I feel as if I'm sitting inside an active volcano.
Yeah, it's really hard to deal with sometimes in here, but you know, we're gonna keep bringing you these wonderful episodes, so you keep listening and stay meowing.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
This has been Loremire
and me. Bye.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.